If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
New developments tonight after a gruesome discovery at a Hollywood tow yard. NBC4 Investigates was the first to report the discovery of a body inside of a Tesla that we now know belongs to the singer David. Singer is currently on tour and is scheduled to perform tonight in Minneapolis. A spokesperson tells us that he is fully cooperating with police, but right now, a mystery still remains. Our investigative reporter Eric Litter joins us live from our newsroom. And Eric, we're learning that car was sitting on the street for quite some time here, huh?
Yeah, that's right, Michael. Homicide detectives on this case say they believe the person found inside the front trunk of the Tesla yesterday was a woman, but they say it's still far too soon to say for certain if she was the victim of a murder. But that said, our contacts tell us there are sinister signs that this was a crime, but one that could be more than a month old. This was the scene yesterday as detectives and criminalists examined the human remains discovered inside this black Tesla sedan. Several law enforcement sources tell us they believe the dead person was a woman and her body was wrapped in a unique container. All of that weighs into the investigators' belief that she was likely the victim of a crime. The condition of her remains were extremely decomposed, making identification and the rest of the investigation much more difficult. Today, we learned the car had been parked right here at the intersection of Doheny and Bluebird, right on the border between L.A., West Hollywood, and Beverly Hills. Neighbors and people working in the area today told me the car had been there for at least a month. City records show the black Tesla with Texas license plates was ticketed once on September 3rd for being parked in the same place for more than 72 hours, but it wasn't towed until last Friday. Then the remains were found yesterday when workers at that tow yard said they noticed the odor of decomposition. As you mentioned, this Tesla is registered to this pop singer who goes by David, spelled D4vd, and the rep for the performer said he's out on tour, out of state, but has been in contact with and is cooperating with police. Back to you in the studio.
Overnight critically acclaimed musician David taking the stage even as he finds himself at the center of a death investigation after police found a body in a car registered in his name. LAPD officers making the gruesome discovery in the front trunk of an impounded 2023 Tesla in a tow yard in Hollywood on Monday afternoon, following reports of an odor coming from near the vehicle. Police say the car had been at the property for a couple of days, and what police are calling human remains had been placed inside a bag. And overnight, the medical examiner saying those remains belonged to a woman whose body was, quote, severely decomposed, but had been about 5'2", with wavy black hair, wearing a tube top and yellow stud earrings.
The key to this case is identifying the person that was found in the Tesla. How is that person, if they are, connected to this Tesla? How did David's car get to this location in Hollywood Hills? When was the last time he saw it?
20-year-old David, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, known for hits like Feel It and Romantic Homicide, has over 33 million monthly listeners on Spotify. He recently spoke about his success with our Gio Benitez.
It's such a blessing to be able to express myself and release my art and help people around the world.
Enforcement sources have been extremely careful to point out that David has many vehicles registered under his name, driven by any number of people at any given time, and that they won't really know anything until the coroner makes a determination on the manner of death, and that could take several more days, guys.
Yeah, a lot of questions to be answered, Matt. Wow. All right, thank you for bringing that.
dismembered body decaying in the California sun in a well-to-do-off neighborhood, sitting in a Tesla for about a month. Now, the cold-blooded part about that right there is that this is when David Burke went on tour about a month ago. And all of a sudden, his car just mysteriously being parked, and there's a dead body that has been dismembered in the trunk. According to reports, they're saying that pieces of the body was like wrapped in some type of plastic or something like that. But nevertheless, it was put in the trunk of the car. Now, allow me to say this right here, right? Because, I mean, like, the word on the street is this, that when David, you know, because they have been connected, the dead woman that was in the car, or should I say the dead girl whose dismembered body that was in the car, David and her has been connected. And instead of me talking about it, just allow me just to show you. Check it out. So there's no way that David can't say that he don't know this woman that they found dead, or this girl, excuse me, that they found dead and dismembered in his car, because we have proof to show that they knew each other. But not only that though, people from the hometown where David is from, or you know, that where she is from and where they met and stuff like that, are saying that David met this girl when she was 12 years old and he was 17. Wait a minute, hold on, cause somebody, look, what? She 12, he's 17. This is when they met. Now, I know this is strange to a lot of people, and it should be strange to a lot of people. But let me tell y'all something, right? In the hood, that type of stuff right there is not abnormal. And I know a lot of people say, come on, hood, man, it ain't. Look, I got to be 100 with y'all. These young girls, fully developed, 12, 13, they don't want to date us. When we 12 and 13 and stuff like that, they don't like us. They don't. Come on, man. Y'all know I'm not lying. But the reason why they don't like us is because they believe in their mind that, hey, if they get an older man, an older boy, that they will have some type of prestige. You understand what I'm saying? That this right here will say that, hey, I'm developing to a woman. Or, you know, other girls will look and say, oh, wow, that older guy likes you, right? To some women, this is a badge of honor. Or young girls, this is a badge of honor. Look, is we going to tell the truth or we going to be lying? What we going to do? Right? So, in this situation, this girl was 12. He was 17 when they first met. And according to the reports in the streets, the parents knew this. Now, one thing I don't know if she had a father around. I don't know that. But I would say this right here. If a father was around, that's not finna go down. I mean, look, dads, we are not going for that type of stuff right there. Nah, hell no. You know, now she was 18 and she met a guy 28 or something. Hey, look, she a grown woman. Hey, whatever. But as far as being 12 and this boy you dating is 17, nah, we ain't going for, not no dads, not no fathers. Hell no. As soon as he come to the crib, hey, wait a minute. You come to see who? Huh? And she 12? Nah, hell no. You 17? No. You know, we might let it go about 2 years or something. 12, you 14 or something. We might, hey, you know what? Hey, that's only 2 years. Hey, you know, but 17, you almost full grown. This girl 12. We ain't going for that right there. But unfortunately, sometimes, and I'm not trying to speak down on you sisters, and when I say sisters, I'm talking about all the women in all races. Listen, sometimes y'all let little stuff like that go. Because y'all understand women, and y'all understand that, hey, look, I did, when I was that age, I did like an older guy. I was with an older guy, you see? But I got to push back on that right there. I got to push back, because when a 12-year-old, we talking about 12 here, dealing with a 17-year-old, this girl right here just stopped playing with toys. She probably still go to sleep with her teddy bear. She probably still see toys on TV and be like, I want me one of them. Mom, can you buy me that? She can't buy nothing. She ain't even got a after school job or nothing. She 12. She 2 years away from 10. No, we can't go for that right there. You know, now, and when I'm speaking about, you know, women letting this type of stuff slide, I'm not saying that I don't believe that a woman would let their 10-year-old or their 12-year-old date somebody that's older, a woman that got some sense. What I'm saying is, like, say if your daughter's like 14 and she come on with a guy that's 18, some women would be like, it's only 4-year difference. She 15, she come with a guy that's 18. Some women will let that slide. But men, we are protectors of our daughters. We like, hell no. But nevertheless, in this case, she was dating him, and her mother knew it. And let me explain to y'all how I know her mother knew it. Because her mother told authorities that she had a boyfriend and his name is David. So her mother knew about the boyfriend. Now, let's be 100 though. We got to tell it how it is, right? Because men are manipulative. Children are manipulative. The boy at 17 probably looked like 14, you see, at that time. And so it could have easily went that way too. We got to cover all grounds. It could have easily went that way too, because she could have said, hey, Mom, he's 14. I like him. And he could have lied to the mom too and said, hey, you know, I'm only 14. You know, I just want to take your daughter out. And she might have said, okay, well, that's cool. He's only 14. There's no problem there. She 12. And they just playing, you know, puppy love type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it could have went that way too, because y'all, come on, we girls, women, look, how many times have y'all done lied when y'all was young and told somebody that y'all was older than what y'all really was? Now, being that y'all body done developed a little bit and stuff like that, you can lie and manipulate and say, hey, look, I'm 15. When you really 12. You really 13. I'm 16. You see? So that type of stuff goes on too. So we ain't gonna just throw it all on that, but we just had to put that out there. But nevertheless, this girl right here is no longer with us. And she was found dead in her boyfriend's car. So we got to ask ourselves, is he guilty of murder? The body was dismembered. He left to go on his tour a month, the same time that the car was sitting there, for a month. So things just don't look right. He has not been charged with anything. He hasn't even been arrested. He's still on tour, but I just got word that he stopped his tour and everything now, and that he's cooperating with authorities. But for some reason, he hasn't been charged. He hasn't been arrested or anything like that. And the reason why I believe that is this right here. Even though they found his girlfriend's body in his car, they still have to prove that he did it. Now, to us, in our mind, the people that we're not homicide investigators, so we like, he did it. She got found dead in his car. 1 + 1 is 2. There it go. Right? But for a homicide detective and the prosecutors of California, they got to be able to prove the murder. And that's why I think he's not arrested right now. That's why he ain't, been under an well, no, wait a minute. He might be under investigation, but he hasn't been arrested. You understand what I'm saying? And the reason why I believe because they haven't proved that he killed her. They haven't proved that he did anything that caused them to say, wait a minute, hold on. Just because she got found in the car, they still got to prove that he killed her. They still got to prove that somewhere, somehow, he dismembered her. And they ain't proved that yet. But the cold-blooded part about this whole demonstration is this right here. The Tesla. Now, for those of you who know anything about Teslas, them cars right there got GPS on them. So wherever that car go, it's being recorded. Not just by GPS, but them cars got cameras everywhere. If you drive in a Tesla, you are being recorded. If you go to the trunk of a Tesla, you are being recorded. If you walk past a Tesla, you are being recorded. So if we understand that to be true, whoever put her body parts in that car has been recorded. And it ain't no way around that. That car got him. Whoever drove that car and parked it in that neighborhood and left it there has been recorded. And it's just a matter of time before the police get those videos and start breaking things down. Now, being that they are recorded, and being that people understand that they're going to be recorded when they're dealing with a Tesla, could have ghosted up, put the mask on, put the gloves on. We had all, tattoos and marks that people can identify us on and stuff like that, because we know we about to commit a crime. And we know we got to do it in this Tesla. So they could have easily, how you going to identify that person? You see what I'm saying? But if they was lacking in their intellect as far as what Tesla has to offer, as far as the cameras and the GPSs and stuff like that, and they just, no gloves, no mask on, then they knocked. It's over with. You got to explain why you putting body parts of a human being into a trunk. You got to explain that. And who chopped the body parts up? What happened? You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot going on in this case. And like I say, there's no denying that him and her was together. They had matching tattoos and stuff like that. So him and her was together. But as far as her murder, that's the thing that everybody got to sit back and we just got to wait. And we just got to see what the homicide detectives are going to come up with. And then we just go from there. But let me say this right here before I depart. This girl right here was missing for over a year. A whole year? Now, I'm not saying that children don't go missing and stuff like that, but for a whole year. And her mother and people in her family understood that this famous guy all of a sudden, David Burke, is her boyfriend, and ain't nobody go check on him. Ain't nobody go call him and post up where he be at or anything like that. Call his mama, his father, his cousins or anything and say, hey man, where our daughter at? This her boyfriend. What's going on here? You see, and I would hope that they did. I would hope that they hunted him down and was like, okay, what, he having a show over here? We gonna be there. Bring the police and everything. Hey, come on. The last person she was with her boyfriend. Come on, we need to go get our daughter. That's the type of stuff that we gotta be on. Because girls do run away with their boyfriends. Come on, y'all, we ain't gonna play. And not only that girls run away with their boyfriends get the girl and harbor her and say, no, she ain't over here. Because they in love, puppy love and all that old type of stuff. Nah, she ain't with me, I don't know what's going on. But see, when you get police involved, yeah, now we dealing with something different. Hey, she in there. She was with him. They get to knocking on the doors and getting search warrants and stuff like that. That's just how it go down. And I know this type of stuff, you know, because just when I was young coming up, girls would be trying to run away from home to be around the brothers and stuff like that. But by us being just young criminals, we was like, nah, we don't need that heat. You know, but girls be, I ain't going home. Yes, you is. We over here selling drugs and getting into shootouts and stuff like that. We don't need no unwanted heat. We already got enough heat. So no, you got to go home. Just come back tomorrow. You know, you can spend the night on the weekends and stuff like that. But no, you can't just not go to school and not be around. No, hell no. We don't need that because we understood what comes with that. But some guys don't. They be so in love with a young girl in that puppy love that they be like, hell no, come on, yeah, you can be with me. You want to run away? Come on, shit, let's run away together. And that's what it appears like, you know, when you put everything together. But we got to be more proactive with our children. And what I mean by proactive is that we got to be in the way of anything that's going to cause them any type of harm or going to cause them any type of thing that's going to cause them to stray away from their path. We got to be able to see that. And we got to be able to cut it right at the root as soon as we see it. This your boyfriend right here. How old you say you is, young man? Oh, I'm 14. You is, huh? Let me meet your mama and your father. You see? Where your dad at? You know? Where your mom at? You know? Hey, look, check this out. How you doing? They call themselves doing the puppy love thing. My daughter is 12 years old. How old is your son? What is your son into? What type of stuff that he get involved with? Is he a school-going child, or does he get suspended often? Does he fight a little bit? You know, just let me know a little bit about him so I can know how to deal with him and my daughter. You see, we got to start getting involved like that type of stuff because, look, we can't deny the fact that your child going to like somebody, whether it's a boy or a girl. They going to like somebody the same way you like somebody when you was 12, 13, 14, and you had a crush and all that old type of stuff. So we got to start demonstrating like that. You know, you can't like him, no, because then they going to do it behind your back. So, oh, you like somebody? Oh, they like you? Okay, then, well, let me give you the game then. Listen, check this out. Don't fall for this. Don't go for that. If he respects you, he gonna do this. If he disrespects you, he gonna do this. I need to meet the parents. Yeah, I need to sit down with them. I need to have a conversation with them so I can see what's going on. Not only that, I need to go look at some school records and hey, this boy right here, is he bad? I need to go talk to some people. Is this girl right here, is she troubled? Whatever. We got to be proactive when our children start to want to date. When they think they can make grown folks decisions. We got to be proactive. We got to be involved. Because if we don't get involved, this type of stuff happens. Where your child go missing for a whole year and you don't know where she at. And then the next thing you know, she end up dead. This is Hood Educated, not Lame Related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Now, before I depart, allow me to give a shout out to some of the blessings that I received this week. Aquanita Thomas for the $5 super thanks. Thank you. Carrie Say for the $5 super thanks. Thank you. P Frog the Man for the $15 super thanks. Thank you. Antoine Webb for the $40 cash app. Thank you. Cheyenne Cunningham for the $20 cash app. Thank you. Sanford D. Doss Sr. for the $20 Cash App. Thank you. Breeze for the $5 Cash App. Thank you. Michael Smiley for the $100 Cash App. Thank you. And last but not least, Helen Sullivan for the $20 PayPal. This is Hood Educated, not lame related. Peace and love. And y'all take care of yourself out there.